What is up guys, welcome back to my channel and for a new Outriders video. And today, I have a build that allows the Technomancer to one-shot nearly any boss in the game. I'm not sure about the other classes as I've not tried them yet, but this is what I feel is the most strongest Anomaly build for Technomancer right now. Now this is a build I have been working on for a while, trying to get the exact items to get the launcher to be what we all want it to be. This build is super crazy you guys. It can clear expeditions, Tyria guitar like it's nothing. It kills everything so quickly, even faster than your turrets, which is Techno's best Anomaly build right now. This build can do absolutely anything, whether it's mobbing or even taking out those ridiculously tanky bosses. There's absolutely nothing that the launcher can't kill. You can basically one-shot the mobs and the elites, whether it's the big heavy gunners or even something like the broodmothers. For the bosses as well, the pain launcher is capable of nearly one-shotting the Yayak in the Eye of the Storm. With the right positioning, you can nearly kill him if every single locket gets a direct hit. You can then just hit him one more time with your rocket launcher and pretty much any boss in the game will get wiped out. This is how you all wanted the Techno's rockets to feel like, able to hit like an actual tank and completely destroy anything that falls in its way. The damage from just one rocket is totally insane, and since he fires so many rockets at a time, it's literally able to melt bosses faster than anything else, even faster than your turrets. The pain launcher and your mighty rocket launcher is totally the most powerful skill for Techno. With that, let's get right into the build and what makes our launcher as good as it is. The skills we use are the blighted turret, the tools of destruction and the pain launcher. The blighted turret is mostly used to proc the skills in both your main and pack streets that give you bonus anomaly power. There is really no other use for it. It will do decent against some of the mobs and the smaller enemies. Other than that, there's no other use for it. Just to get those basic anomaly power bonuses, and that's mostly it. Then we have the tools of destruction, which will be our main source of damage. The minigun is also great to use and probably the preferred tool for mobbing, as it does have more ammo, but I personally love to use the launcher as it is just so good. The pain launcher is probably the real star of this build. It can clear out entire area of enemies in just one volley, and what's even better is the fact that it can one-shot almost all the elites and some of the main bosses as well. It will require you to have the right positioning and timing, but when it is pulled off correctly, it'll basically instant kill anything. The Kyro turret is something you would want to use as well if you're wanting a safer approach. It will help you with mobbing as well as just taking the enemy's attention off you. Also, another reason why you want to use the turret is just so you can have something that will constantly inflict fleas on the enemies. Feel free to switch this skill out if you may not have the correct items and want an easier route. Otherwise, the pain launcher is the ideal choice. If you have the right mods and gear, the pain launcher will only be at a 6-second cooldown, and your tools of destruction will only be at an 8-second cooldown. Now, the main reason why our tools of destruction, as well as our pain launcher, is ridiculously strong is because of our skill in the pack tree, which is depleted core. Our ordnance skill damage is increased by 100% of our status power. We are currently sitting at 250% status power, so it just makes our ordnance skill insanely powerful. Also, the skill lethal devices will allow all our skills to inflict toxic and deal bonus anomaly power damage. This means every single rocket from our pain launcher as well as our rocket launcher will deal toxic. This is super amazing as we can then use items like the euthanizer and radical therapy to get even more damage as everything will be inflicting toxic. In our main skill tree, we go all the way down the bottom tree to get as much anomaly power, resistance piercing and cooldown as we can. And we get the capstone tech bond, which will increase our anomaly power by 50% when we activate our ordnance skill. We also get armored unit for more survivability as well. And then we make our way to the top to get exposing toxic. Since every single one of our skills will inflict toxic, it will also inflict vulnerable just so we can get increased damage. For the weapons, once again, we could run anything you want. As long as you have armor pierce and status power on your weapon, it will be all good to go. You will of course need the mod Mage's Rage to boost your anomaly power by 10% on critical hits, as it is very important for this build. It is the strongest mod for anomaly power builds. I personally used an epic SMG that came with the armor pierce and status power stats, but it also came with the mod Resistance Breaker as well as Winter's Blast. This makes it so much easier to take out a whole group of enemies as you can freeze an entire mob and even bosses to easily kill them with your launcher. And now for the armor, and the biggest reason why this build is so powerful is the fact that we don't use any legendary armor set. There's a reason why the launcher is so strong, and that is because the gear that we use is very specific. There's nothing in the game that boosts the damage of your tools of destruction. The Grim Inventor set which is probably the only set that is catered towards the Tool of Destruction skill, focuses only on ammo regen on your launcher and the minigun, plus it doesn't come with any status power stats. The new Flame Leaper set is good for Anomaly builds, but still not viable as it will have you lose bonuses from mods like the Euthanizer and the Radical Therapy. For the minigun as well, we also can't use the Toxic Lead, since inflicting Toxic multiple times will have them get the Toxic status wiped off and be replaced with Blightfire. If they can fix the Blightfire set to benefit from Toxic damage mods, then it will be the set to use in the future. But at the moment, to get the best damage from both our launchers, we use a mix of legendary and epic items. Everybody may not be able to get the exact same items, so try and get it as close as you can to what I'm about to show you. For the hit piece, I use the Vial of the Flame Leaper. It has the exact stats that you would need, which is Anomaly power, cooldown reduction, as well as status power. It already comes with Radical Therapy, so you will need to switch out your first mod for Captain Hunter, for just good old extra damage to elites. My third mod is also great, which is Danger Close. With your Lockage Launcher, you will mostly always be up close to the enemies, so you'll always get a bonus Anomaly power boost with this mod. My chest piece could have been better. It is an epic item and came with the right Anomaly and status power stats. It has the big no resistance against the fortified mod, which will increase our resistance piercing by 100% based on our armor piercing value. This is why we try and get a weapon with armor piercing. The second mod is not as bad, as it can help if you are wanting to use the minigun, as it will benefit from critical damage. Then from the first mod I added in Vein of Pain, to reduce the cooldown on my pain launcher. For the pants we used the Flame Leaper, as it once again comes with the exact right stats, and also the mod Virulent Compound, which will increase your damage against elites by 10% if you're inflicting them with Toxic. We then add in Euthanizer for more damage against enemies inflicted with Toxic once again, and then for the third mod we have Freezing Boost for more damage against frozen enemies. If you don't have the Winter's Blast or freezing bullets on your weapons, then I do suggest going for the Cover Turret skill. I got probably the best roll I would want for the gloves. It has the perfect stats and it came with feedback to reduce my Tools of Destruction cooldown. You guys need feedback no matter what. We don't want any ammo regen when we use our rocket launcher, and that is because we will lose out on a great amount of Anomaly power bonuses on critical hits. Which is why we always want to use our launcher to get a big burst of damage and then use it again later. We then add in Power Simulation to boost our Anomaly power with each elite on the field. And then for the last mod, we add in Arms and Anomaly to get a huge boost in Anomaly power whenever we land a critical hit. All these three mods are an absolute must-have. My boots could have been a lot better though. I still haven't gotten my hands on any good boots, so I stuck to using the Plague Sour boots, only because it came with status power and Unstoppable Force, which will increase our Anomaly power by 50% of our resistance piercing. Then I just added in Shatter as my second mod for more damage to frozen enemies. And that is it for the items you will need to make this build come together. I will show you every single item that I use on the screen right now, so you can know exactly which mods and stats I have on each piece, if you wanted just a quick look at the items. I hope the devs can fix the Flame Leaper set to benefit from the Toxic damage mods. Then this build will become even more powerful. Not that it would even matter getting the Blightfire status, you won't even be inflicting Toxic 3 times, since you anyway one-shot the enemies as well as the bosses. But if you don't have the exact gear, then the Flame Leaper set would be a good choice to get yourself started. This build is super strong and beats almost everything really easily. It excels at both expeditions as well as Tyra Guitar. You should have absolutely no problems clearing any of the missions. As you can see by the gameplay, you can clear entire areas so easily and quickly. It really makes bosses look like just another regular enemy, just because how fast it's able to kill them. Some of them are able to die just from the one pain launcher alone. Others may require just a hit or two with the rocket launcher to finish them off. It's also not very difficult to pull it off. Basically, all you will need to do to take out the bosses super easily is firstly throw down your blighted turret and then land a few critical hits with your weapon to get all the bonus Anomaly power as well as inflicting freeze. Then you can either drop your pain launcher and watch it melt the bosses instantly, or you can go into your rocket launcher. There is no tight window in which you need to perform the skills. You should be fine as long as you get your critical hits on the enemies and then go straight into your skills. You can easily just fire your weapon and get crits, and then go straight into your launcher, as that will be your easiest and most guaranteed approach, as sometimes enemies may move out of the way if you don't position your pain launcher right. Just so keep that in mind when you're using this build. Other than that, mobbing is super easy, as the pain launcher covers a vast area It will easily destroy as many enemies really quickly. Just drop your turret and walk in the direction it will launch the rockets. That way all the enemies will actually walk into the line of fire. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. I had an absolute blast making this, and I'm sure it can get even stronger with the perfect min-max items. What do you guys think of this? I really hope they don't nerf any of this Techno stuff, cause this build is just something special. Let me know what you guys thought about this. I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all in the next video.